How far away is the sun? I need to buy white wine. I have white wine. Ooh. Okay, so this is what I did. If the sun is 93 million miles away, says NASA and all of the scientists and also Wikipedia and all the science websites, then we should be able to totally figure that shit out. So that's what I set out to do. Equilateral triangles means all the three sides are the same length and the three angles are all the same as well, 60 degrees. And the three sides are the same. So anytime you have a triangle that has 60 degrees in one corner and 60 degrees in the other corner, then you know that the third corner is 60 degrees as well, because angles have to add up to 180, because that's how triangles work. But then you also know that then the three lengths are the same. And then you measure the length between those 2 points where you've measured the 60-degree angle. Then you know that the distance between the two people down here is going to be the same as the distance between the peoples and the sun. Ooh, easy peasy. It's just geometry. Figuring out all the mysteries, solutions. If the sun is 93 million miles away, then you'd have to have one person. That person would measure from the horizon to the sun at a 60-degree angle. So if I look out and then I have 60 degrees from horizon and there's the sun. If the distance between the sun and I is 93 million miles, then the other person facing me and they're also measuring the sun at 60 degrees from their horizon, they should be 93 million miles away. And then that makes the triangle work. But this is where everything chaos, because it is super hot in my room. So I had my fan running. I forgot to turn it off for the video. So now I'm just going to blend this audio in and hope for the best. I chose Macapá in Brazil, and then I looked on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, Equatorial Guinea. There's this city also on the equator, Malabo. And then math, and then I discovered that when it's 10:08 a.m. in Macapá, Brazil, the sun is at a 60-degree angle from the horizon for our friend looking towards Africa. And then at that same time, around 2:08 p.m., for the person standing in Malabo, Africa, looking towards the west, north, south, east, west, the sun setting, they're seeing the sun at that 60-degree angle from the horizon. Because of the time zones, that's the same moment. And then the person in between them is staring up at noon. We have two people facing each other, 60-degree angle, the sun. So then what we can do is, then we can figure out the distance between these two people tells us the difference between each of those people and the sun. And so it turns out it's not actually 93 million miles. I wrote it down, 4,138 roughly miles. What does this mean? This means that the sun is not 93 million miles away. So this implies a flat plane. The sparkle sound. This is so complicated to explain. If it was on a globe, then you'd have something like this, where the person in Macapá, Brazil is standing, looking at the sun at a 60-degree angle from the horizon. And then the person in Malabo is doing the same thing, facing each other. Well, the problem with this model is that the sun is not converging into one point the way we had down here. It's actually diverging. So the further the sun is from the Earth, the more impossible this model becomes.